Hi, I'm Dr. Martin Rutherford, certified functional medicine practitioner, chiropractor.
Dr. Randall Gates, board certified chiropractic neurologist, also a chiropractor.
So today we're going to do Keys to Success number 85. We missed last week. We're not going to do that again for a while because we made a list of a lot of keys to success that we're going to review over the next 2 months or so, maybe 3. And but I had a specific request, so I'm going to honor that. I got a specific request last week from a patient who I had an individual consult with, and the comment was that you're older too. We're kind of in the same age group, so maybe you could tell me what you do. And we had a nice chat, and it seemed like it worked out pretty well. But I don't know that these are older or younger types of keys to success that I'm going to go through. I think we put a Facebook group together. It's a private Facebook group because this is hard. That's why we have signs around the office that say, we didn't say it was going to be easy. We said it was going to be worth it. And it's not easy. And it's something that you have to have some sort of a reason to do. Now, not getting sexist here, okay? But if a woman comes in here and tells me that they are not being as good a parent as they want to be to their children, and they need to do this so that they can go out and play with their kids and take them and do things like that, I can tell you right now that person's going to do the program, because that just seems to be an incredibly high goal, an incredibly high motivator. So those are the types of things that really help you to get through the difficulties. I mean, I don't know.
Okay, you're talking about underlying motivation. I'm with you.
Yeah, I'm gonna hit that, but I'm gonna go through. I mean,
that's
I don't know if you have.
Well, that's a great point, because
I'm gonna
so often, like,
I don't want to completely leave you out of this because she asked me to go over my program.
Your motivation is you need to stay well, so you can communicate what we're doing. And a lot of you may not know this. Dr. Rutherford's fine with me discussing this. You know, he's had several severe head injuries. You have fibromyalgia. Another component that's important to emphasize, Dr. Rutherford has continued to get better over at least the last 5 years, probably going on 6 years, because he's maintained his program. So when we talk about people who are going through the process, and there's ups and downs, and everybody says to me, well, I continue to get better, will I continue to get better? And really the answer usually is, if you continue to do what you're supposed to do, you will continue to get better. He's our case in point.
So I mean, my program has been around for quite some time, in a sense that I've been involved in this for a while, and it's developed. And then these are the things that are, and a lot of things I'm going to say are out there. I wrote a book in 1998 before I got ill. I was just looking at it this morning. I haven't changed a whole lot. But now things have become more acute. I mean, my goals is to stay well. I just like feeling good. I like getting up and feeling good. I like getting up and feeling rested. It's important to me. I like to be able to go out and do the things I need to do to execute what I feel are my responsibilities, whether it's to my family, or whether it's to my staff, or whether it's to my patients, or Dr. Gates, or my dog for that matter. It's just, that's just important to me, okay? So those are some of my motivations. But in the end, a lot of things I'm going to tell you are going to be things that helped to calm that brain down, because the two things that really are the most challenging aspects of your program to stay better is to keep that brain under control, keep that stress response under control, and of course, follow the diet. So motivation plays a big role, and I'm going to go into that a little bit more. This isn't going to be long. It's just, but there's a lot of things here. My program starts with sleep. Got 11 hours last night, okay, because I had a busy weekend. I didn't get really a break. We had a relatively moderate day yesterday, and I got a chance to go home. And contrary to studies that say you can't catch up on sleep, you couldn't convince me of that, because last night I caught up on sleep. So today I feel pretty good, and today I'm pretty chipper, and I'm going to be really sharp, and I'm going to be able to do better with my patients today. But sleep is restorative. It's hard to get better if you can't get into REM sleep, or if you don't get enough sleep. I usually sleep 8 to 10 hours. Okay. Well, that's a long time. Well, it is a long time. But let me tell you, if I sleep 8 to 10 hours, that is like the beginning of everything. You heal when you're in REM sleep, you get tired, your brain gets oxygenated. When you sleep, it's important. So there's a lot of controversy out there on it, but I sleep. I meditate. Okay, that's a little something I don't share with everybody because it can be a little controversial. I understand some of my more religious and spiritual patients have concepts on meditation, but I meditate to keep my brain calm. And you're going to notice a little theme of keeping my brain calm, because when your brain's not calm, as you well know, lots of stress hormones, brain fog, short-term memory loss, bad gut, all those things can be set off. Stress is one of the things that's going to reset off your problem in the future if it gets reset off. And so I do meditate first thing in the morning. So sleep and meditation keep me calm, keeps my brain calm, keeps my physiology working, helps me to heal. I do some gentle stretches. I was on my feet a lot for 36 years being a chiropractor. I'm just on my feet a lot. Everybody knows me sitting behind my desk, but that's like kills me. So my feet, I need to stretch my feet, and I stretch my feet, my back, and my hands. Your hands and your feet and your back give a lot of feedback to your brain. And if they hurt, they give a lot of negative feedback to your brain. It takes me like 3 minutes to stretch my feet. I'm just giving you a general of what I do, because the point is going to be, what you're going to see is there's a lot of things out there that can help you to maintain your physiology and your nervous system. But you kind of pick the ones and choose the ones that are for you. I was a chiropractor. I was on my feet for years. So my hands and my feet are beat up. So I don't spend like an hour doing exercises in the morning, but I do stretch my back. I do stretch my feet. I do stretch my hand. It makes a huge difference. That may sound silly. Somebody asked me for my program. This is it. I do a little breathing. Your brain needs oxygen. Your brain needs oxygen, blood sugar, lack of inflammation, and proper stimulation. Believe it or not, stretching my hands and feet, my back, gives stimulation to my brain. I do a little breathing. I got it from a Chinese medical book. It's just simple. We talked about doing a breathing DVD years ago. Maybe we should do it. It's just in, out, in. I do that. I do 2 or 3 other breathings. That oxygenates not just my brain, but if you do it gently and do it right, it oxygenates my whole body. So breathing exercises takes me 3 minutes. I mean, this whole thing in the morning takes me like 10 or 15 minutes to do. I actually do some positive affirmations first thing in the morning. Now, look, I'm not like, I don't sit there and do affirmations for everything. My affirmations is I just look around and I just think, okay, what have I got to be like positive about right now? Well, I got a job. I got a roof over my head. I mean, for me, it's that simple. I'm laying in a bed. I've got, I can eat, I can do this. I just take a few moments to get myself in a positive state and just be grateful for things. Now, it might sound silly, okay? For me, that works. For me, that gives me positivity. It makes me know that I'm a lot better off than a lot of people, and I'm really very grateful for that. And I have a nice job, and I work with wonderful people, and I have a great family. I mean, I'm really a pretty lucky guy. So it's not hard for me to think about what I'm grateful for. But I will tell you, being positive, walking around being positive probably helps. But for me, being a little grateful, that gets me going. That gets me going in the morning, kind of go, okay, I feel better now. So let me get going so I'm in a positive thing. I do my brain exercises. I mean, I do my brain exercises, and I actually do that when I'm doing the stretching, and I put that right up there with my sleep and the brain exercises. I do 3 times a day, like my life depended on it. And frankly, I do it more than that. Sometimes you'll see my door closed here. I might be meditating for a few minutes, or just, I don't know if I want to use the word meditation, but I might be closing my eyes and just getting peaceful. I'm going to actually be taking a 5 or 10 minute nap, because sleep helps me tremendously. Or I might be doing my brain exercises, or I might be doing 2 of those, okay? But I've learned that because of all the concussions that I've had, I have a certain capacity, okay? And this is something that is part of my program. I try not to exceed that capacity. I exceeded it Sunday, but there was a special reason that I did that. And I knew I was going to exceed it, and I knew I was going to be tired, and I knew I was going to have to sleep for 11 hours at some point in time, okay? But just know you're going to pay the price, okay? So I do my brain exercises. I do whatever I need to do if I need to take a nap, but I get tired if I have to talk for more than 2 or 3 hours at a time, which many of you know I talk for a lot longer than that. So I will take a shot if I can, and I'll get a little nap, but I try to keep I just try to stay balanced. And I try to not exceed my capacity, because if I exceed my capacity, I do too much exercise, I do too much talking at work, I do too much, whether you know it or not. The staff actually helps by scheduling around that for me. Okay, then I'll crash. And I'll crash for a couple of days. I won't be able to think very well. And I'm telling you this because maybe if you think, oh, it's going to all be perfect for someday, you know, it's not. It's something that you have to like learn about to deal with. And I'm going to kind of go through that. I, like everybody else, try to eat properly. You know, it's hard to do. I'm pretty good like 90% of the time, just let you know. And there were times like this weekend where there was just a lot of people in one place, and there was a lot of food, and there was a lot of work being going on, and there was a lot of stuff there that was comfort food, and I ate one or two things, and I told Dr. Gates when I walked in, I said, I'm not going to be very sharp today because my one of my mother-in-laws made an amazing meringue pie. I shouldn't even tell you this. I took gluten flam before I ate it, during I ate it, after I ate it, but it got because I have celiac. Okay. So is that dumb? Look, this is part of managing it. I'm not perfect. Nobody's perfect. We're all strong. Maybe there's somebody out there. We have a couple of patients who are amazing, I must tell you. But, you know, we're all struggling. And so, but if you know that's going to happen, then deal with it. Just know you're going to feel crappy for a day or two. For me, it's about 2 days. Like today, I'm still a little off. Tomorrow, I'll be just fine. But I got my sleep. I'm back on my diet. I took gluten flan because there was gluten in there, you know, and I have celiac. So, I mean, it's probably the last thing on earth I should do. But I'm not going to do that again tomorrow. I'm not going to do it again for a long time. And maybe Christmas, we gave you our things on Christmas, how we get in there. I'm not going to do it on Christmas. And maybe, you know, maybe there's just that moment where I go, boom, I know what to do. Okay, evening, walk. I walk. I used to go to the gym for hours, as everybody who knows me will tell you. Okay, I can't do that now. I used to run. When I would ski, I'd ski all day. I mean, that's just how I was. I can't do that anymore. I accept that. We're going to talk about acceptance. I accept that. Okay. What I do now is I do gentle stretches. Somebody can walk in the room while I was doing it and say, oh, you're doing yoga. I was like, well, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm stretching my feet, my hands, my back. And I guess, oh, it's the cat move or whatever it is. Whatever it is, that's what I do. I do stretching for me, for what works for me. I do my brain exercises. I do a little bit of an ab routine for those of you who are exercise mavens, because it makes me feel stronger on my feet. So when I'm walking around, I don't feel as weak. And I walk. That's what I do. I don't jog. I don't run. I used to run lots, long miles. I never ran a marathon, but I used to run like 15 miles on a Saturday, you know, just as what I used to do. I can't do that anymore. That exceeds my capacity. That's okay. I walk 45 minutes, hour, you know, 40 minutes, and almost every day. And I feel good. I feel really good. So you don't have to, if you exceed your capacity, you feel like not so good. If you don't exceed your capacity, you can feel good. You can still feel good. Oh, and I play golf. When I can, I play golf and I walk. I don't take a cart, I walk. So walking is my point, is my exercise. I keep my extracurricular activities in check. I'm very careful about what I do. I try not to be too, what I'm talking about is like, I'm a big UNR fan, so I go to all the basketball games. And my wife likes to go to shows, so she likes to go. I try to not do too many extracurricular activities, particularly on the weekend, because I have to pace myself. So these are important things. Those of you who are mothers and have kids, I don't know how you pace yourself, okay? But to me, that would probably mean that would become a priority, and everything would become second. But as people around me know, you know, I don't have a big problem saying I just can't do that. I need to get sleep tonight. I got a big day tomorrow. I got to work tomorrow. So you kind of have to, you know, I keep my extracurricular activity. You know, if I'm tired and it's my day to golf, I don't go golfing. I relax. I take a walk. I read. I do whatever it is that I'm going to do. But you got to learn to like pace yourself. I'm not a television fan. I'm not going to get into the whole understanding of that. But I rarely watch television. I mean, every time somebody comes over my house and I'm the only one there and the television needs to be turned on, I almost don't know how to do it. It's one of those new smart TVs. Mm-hmm. And I don't go to movies. And there's a lot of reasons for that. And for me, the reasons have to do with this fight-flight mechanism. And depending on the movies that you go with, what you don't realize is your brain doesn't know the difference between what's real and what's not. A lot of these, now the King Kong movie that we went to, it was so ridiculous. It didn't get me excited at all. So I was like, why am I even sitting here watching this stuff? So that worked out okay. But if you get these movies that are real emotional or you got a connection, it can set you off, just for a record. And I've had a lot of people confirm that. I don't go, I don't go. I know that may sound weird, maybe it's, but this person asked me for my program. Your program may look entirely different. And I think that's the point of this. This is what works for me. Okay. So no computers an hour before bed. And believe me, if I'm like looking at my phone like an hour before bed, I am dreaming about it. So that's for me. No computers an hour before bed. If you can't listen to news and look at it objectively, which people go, you always listen to the news, it doesn't upset me. I'm listening for data. I'm trying to figure out what to do. I'm a human being. I got to vote. I'm a business owner. I want to know the facts. I don't get caught up in the news as far as emotions go. Okay. But if you do, then I suggest you read the news where there's not a lot of people intonating and acting out and giving you their opinions, or read the news and that way it's quiet. And that's how I do it. And I think just philosophically, I think you just need to, I just think it's kind of like a philosophy. It's like, why did this happen to me? Yeah, I don't get into that. It happened. Okay. Now I don't mean to be, I'm not putting anybody down. I'm just telling you my philosophy. Okay. I have it. It's not, to date, nobody knows how to cure autoimmune problems. Okay. So I have it. So I go out there the other day and I'm working out in the weeds and I'm working hard and I'm doing a bunch of stuff over the weekend and I'm lifting, I'm pushing and pulling. I know I'm going to pay for it. It's like, okay, this is what I got to do. I'm going to do this because this is the right thing to do at the time. I do it and I'm done with it. And I know it's going to be a little crappy for a couple of days and then that's it. It's not like, oh, why is this happening to me or anything? It's like acceptance. There's a lot of bad things going on in the world and there's a lot of people who suffer a lot of things. I just feel like, I surrender to it. It's like being in AA or NA or some A, whatever it is, all these programs. That's why we put the Facebook thing together. It's like, it's there, it's part of you now. This is your body. Your body has a certain limitation. And I just, my mind is just like, I just try to learn to live around it. Okay. I don't feel like I'm missing anything because I get up and I feel good. Because I get to come here, because I get to do things when I need to do them. So it's just kind of like to surrender, to kind of accept it, to maybe to be happy that you know what you have and you know how to deal with it. Most people come here. I've had people come here this week, have no clue. And I'm just the fact of what's going on with them. They've been like a million different places and they have no idea. And just the fact that they understood that they had a problem that was definable and that there was a potential for it to get well. Oh my God, that helped that person to relax. But you need to kind of take that an extra step. You just need to, it's hard because when you're trying to do what you need to do for yourself, everybody's got an opinion for you. Oh, you should do this. Oh, you should do that. Oh, you'd be better off if you did it. You'd be happier. I want to do it. You got to do for you what you need to do. And that's the hardest part. The hardest part is just saying, look, here's what I got. I accept this is what I got. I'm willing to do what I got, but not everybody agrees with what I'm doing. That's the hard part. That's where the Facebook group comes in. Okay. That's where the Facebook group comes in and says just like, I'm really having a hard time. These people are giving me a hard time because I don't eat gluten, because I don't drink beer, because I don't whatever, because I don't go out all the time, because I don't run marathons anymore. And it's like, that's what the Facebook group is there for. It's a many type of things group, but it is a support group. And it's like people who stop drinking, they stop drinking all of a sudden, if they were drinking, most of their friends were drinking. So basically what happens is, all of a sudden all their friends are going, oh, you don't drink too much. I drink way more than you do. Things of that nature. You need help. That's where AA came from. Okay. That's where our Facebook come from. So I kind of have that internal support. And everybody around me knows what's going on. So I don't have as much a hassle as a lot of people until I get out of my little circumspect family and circle of friends. So that's a point. And again, I'm sharing with you how I stay well, okay? Because I'm in good shape. I feel pretty good. I'm not going to go out and ski for. In fact, I gave my skis away. but I feel good. I feel good. I can think, I can do things. I can be part of a very exciting evolution of what's going on here. And it's really very satisfying. Whatever your goal is that you can accomplish, whether it's at work, whether it's your kids, whatever it is, that seems to be the most important thing. So there is a philosophy behind it, in a sense of maybe just knowing I have an autoimmune problem. It's not going away. What are the positives that came out of it? For me, the positives that came out of it is, wow, lots of things. You know, it's partially responsible for us developing what we're doing, getting interested in it, those types of things. But there's been a lot of positives out of it. I actually feel better than I used to in a lot of ways, because I'm not always sore from going to the gym, and you know, I have a more peaceful life. I really think there are a lot of positives to what's going on relative to doing all of these things. Now that I'm aware that I have these problems all the time, I'm more motivated to do some gentle stretching. I'm more motivated to do some meditation. I'm more motivated to eat better. And I could argue that I feel better now than before I had the exacerbation that created all the pneumonia, that created all this stuff. I could argue in a lot of ways that I feel better now, mentally and in other ways. And that when I'm feeling good, I could even argue I feel better physically than I used to feel. So, you know, the other thing is just to look at the positive of what's happening. If you have an autoimmune problem, you stopped the downward progress. You have reversed it, and you are working on improving it, okay? Let me tell you something. There are 130 to 160 million chronic pain sufferers out there, according to government statistics and the National Institute of Health and Harvard and Stanford. It's not us saying that. And most of them have not had their downward progression stopped. Most of them are on massive amounts of drugs. Most of them are still declining. Most of them have been given up on by their doctors. I think about that. I think about how lucky I am. I think about the miraculousness of the fact that I was so fortunate to be in the right place at the right time, to meet the right people who said, no, we're going to figure this out, and we're going to stop this, and we're going to give people the tools to be better. So now some of that you might be going, or whatever, you know, it doesn't matter. That's what works for me. And that's what I was asked to do. And I did this specifically for one patient who thought it might be helpful. If it's not helpful, that's okay too, because, you know, but it's just to give you the idea. I mean, who does yoga and it works for them? Who does breathing and it works for them? Who does Tai Chi and it works for them? Who's in some sort of a spiritual discipline that works for them to calm their stress responses down? The core of what you need to do is what Dr. Gates has given you to do when you leave here. You do that, you're going to be fine. But any of these things that enhance that will allow you to continue to maybe have the motivation to throw your exercises in there or stay on your diet, anything that will work. There's no, this is it. This is the cookbook. It's what resonates with you within the framework of the things that I just told you. I will say this. I think sleep is massively underrated. I think too many people don't sleep enough who have these things. Other than that, I mean, I really feel like that's my program. I mean, that's it, pretty much in toto. That's like what I do, and it's what I try to maintain, and I try to not get too far away from it. And if I'm away from it for a day or two, I know what to do. I get back to it. Last night, I went to sleep at 8 o'clock, and I got up this morning at like 10 minutes 7. And I mean, I slept virtually the whole time. And so I know that, you know, so it's a balancing act. It's a maintaining act. It's a keeping things under control act. And if you can accept it and stop thinking about things you can't do, okay, then, you know, life can be pretty good. I mean, I'm pretty happy. Awesome. Is that too much?
No, that was your program.
That was my program.
Yeah.
Nancy, that was for you. So anyway, so so in the coming weeks ahead, we're going to go back to like why we fall off track. What are the diet saboteurs? We're going to talk about non-celiac gluten sensitivity, the importance of sticking to your program. I guess you have to have a program to stick to. We're talking about the program Dr. Gates gave you. or a program like this. So we're going to be going back through this, but always, if you have a specific request, and this was a specific request that I honored, please send it to us. Obviously, we'll do it. We did this, we'll do just about anything, right? So, okay.
Perfect.
Okay.
All right.
Dog Gates says it was perfect, so we're good. All right. So we'll see you with Keys to Success number 86 next week. We should stay pretty much on schedule now for 3 or 4 or 5 months.
Yeah, exactly. At least 3 months.
Yeah. So now we're not trying to think them up 3 seconds before we go on. So
perfect. We'll see you next week.
All right. Bye.